YouTube comments from a video titled, "These 20 vegetables grow like fruit trees." Plant once, eat forever.
At Denmark 23 wrote,
For anyone in colder climates. Jerusalem artichoke, rhubarb, stinging nettle, asparagus, horseradish. These are the ones I have tried also. These are not perennials, but you should try these. Danish green kale, eat in winter, poor tree. For more exotic tasting fruit in a Nordic garden. Mulberry and honeydew berry, not sure the English name for this one. Honingbeer, black currants makes the best jam. Birch tree for its sap, and many more.
At Amazing Bead, Ramahandmade 7908 wrote,
I love Moringa. I have a small space. It's hard to grow anything, especially with my landlord. When everything I plant is a weed, it's not allowed. Unless I can keep it on my lawn.
At Elkadirian 6956 wrote,
Without planting zones for these plants, this information is cute but incomplete. Not all seniors have access and own a computer and may need a ride to their local nursery for zoning answers. Sigh.
At Maria Paula Villas-Boas wrote,
Can you please find a list of food that prefer shady gardens? MT garden is very shady because I try to avoid direct sun exposure. I do not like excessive heat. But I have a problem. I only have shady spots. Which food plants grow better in the shade or none?
At Opiate for Myanus wrote,
Can't stand the rhetoric. Luckily, someone posted a list on the comments. If you're going post something for a global audience, bear in mind, we are not all victims of U.S. indoctrination. Good luck.
At Rootsoff Legend 279 wrote,
This video is an absolute masterpiece for any gardener. Thank you so much for sharing your incredible knowledge about these 20 perennial vegetables. I love how you explained everything so clearly, especially the tips on companion planting, like Jerusalem artichokes with mint. It's truly inspiring to learn how we can create a sustainable food forest that gives back year after year with less effort. Your passion for gardening is contagious, and the way you structure your content makes it so easy to follow. I've already subscribed and can't wait for more life-changing garden secrets. Keep up the amazing work.
At Roncatrell 6444 wrote,
This is so cool. I think I'll share this video with other people who I know so they can see how to grow these plants in their gardens. February 2nd, 2026. USA.
At Cynthia Wallen wrote,
It is sad that most or even all of your plants need tropical environment, and the US is. Give us crops for colder climates and what grows best in the US.
At Panjihutanserji 4606 wrote,
Talus equals kaladi bukan ubi jalar. Ubi jalar atau ubi ramba. Estiatigmai dedai. Ibi the panty sweet potato jipang. At the labusiam chayote. Iberglantungan. Dekuwarna. Hijonya. Hitatanida.
At Mr. FZ4JM wrote,
Beautiful, thanks for the content, guys. Sub, shared, and liked. Oh, and feel free to put a thanks dollar button on your channel. I'll have a record deal soon, so happy to donate to your channel, KR.
And Mickey X40 wrote,
Just a load of nonsense. Who cares about all these theoretical subtropical plants? Tell which ones will grow in what zone 3 or 4 I'm interested in, or just don't waste people's time.
At Leonard Mosela 611 wrote,
I live in the Eastern Cape province of South Africa. I have planted Moringa trees over a year ago. They are struggling to grow, though I cover them over winter.
At Cusinero Novo Records wrote,
Love it, informative videos. Actually, so many more vegetables planting once but harvesting forever, or cycles like saluyot or molokia, cachari or bird flower, brown mushrooms, bananas, pineapples, ginger, lemongrass, especially in tropical country like Philippines. Love here from Kuwait to Philippines.
Kegudapati V1H wrote,
Your video is very interesting and impressive. Every one of your vegetables is impressive, but before I get carried away, please answer a question. How many of these 20 plants will grow effortlessly in one location? Some of these may grow in tropical locations and some in colder locations. I would appreciate knowing which of these plants can be grown in New Jersey. Thank you very much.
At Hopeless I9B wrote,
I want a plant, but it never grows well if the soil is red clay soil. And you need to create compost for that. Buying compost and so many fertilizer is more expensive than food. And 5 faucet water costs too much money, especially in my area, because it is subcontractor. Nothing grows in soil here but weeds and grass. It cannot produce food if there is no animal poop. The soil is like cement red or orange color. It also has too much rocks. I got tired of gardening, the sun is killing me. It is also bad for lungs if you inhale the dust of clay soil when it is dry. I got long lines in my lungs and got bronchitis. Thank good it disappeared. Fungus is also disgusting. Soil has fungus and all sorts of bacteria. I will just buy in wet market. But I find it hard to find herbs that are fresh. There is no complete herbs in this country, and most are expired or bad odor and taste. I tried seeds, they did not sprout. There is a hole in my yard. The concrete broke due to overraining. I will try planting something in it. I still need to bury lots of garbage in it. The problem is my garbage is food for dogs as well. I cook veggie peels mixed with pork to feed stray dogs. That is why I just can't have compost.
At Pinafar Marusa B4W wrote,
I only bought Jerusalem artichoke once, and every year I have Jerusalem artichoke. We have snow during winter, and every year I left a bunch of them in the ground. They regrow during springtime, and my husband hates it.
At Big Wave Dave 2655 wrote,
Good video, but don't rely on any of the images as a way to identify plants. The Chaya was AI generated and showed a picture of a shrub/tree with taro leaves. Chaya is by far my favorite amongst the list that I am familiar with. Only plants I have no experience with in this list were perennial spinach from Brazil, tree collards, and Egyptian walking onion. Great list wish they could have put a little more effort and used accurate images.
At Alice Putt 3133 wrote,
Plant one chayote next to your garage because the vine will cover it. It will produce enough chayotes for the entire neighborhood, then dies back and you need to cut down the dead vines. It keeps going indefinitely.
At Grundwalt wrote,
Reject AI-generated content that is taken over all subjects here on YouTube, robbing human content creators and flooding our video feeds. These AI is scrapping narratives and images and videos from all over the web, and by cheating, is destroying our social media.
Pinoy Tips wrote,
Thank you for the informative video. I just wanted to point out that some of the images shown for the plant don't seem accurate, so I searched for verified photos to make sure I wouldn't be misled when planting.
At Luisa RJ80E wrote,
La natura e meravigliosa ed ian vero peccato che l'uomo occidental sia allontanato da essa. Questo elenco con le vere proprietà e molto interessanti, ma molte questioni sono, a me, sconosciute.
At Rajvanloon 4769 wrote,
Tree collards, or eternal kale, are a great source of greens and can handle even colder climates. Even the Romans grew it everywhere they went. Rhubarb is great, but relatively low on actual nutrients. Malabar is great, but needs a warm climate.
At Rodney Fernandez 5304 wrote,
He left out figs you plant it once. Cut it to the ground and cover the stump with hay or leaves, and it grows back year after year, giving wonderful fruit.
At Siren 2001 wrote,
Romanizing these plants can mislead people. Some of these seem like kudzu or Johnson grass, which is also eatable from root to leaf, but takes over and chokes everything else out.
At Renuikoff 545 wrote,
The deer harissed pumpkin, and moving needs a warm climate. Not fair that you get folks' hopes up, then they find out it won't grow in northern states. Disappointing because it's good for arthritis. Taking thumbs up off till you correct your iPhone and some of the pictures. More like drawings. Idealic, not real gardens. Fix it for a gold star.
At Vasudev B3C wrote,
This is so spot on, I almost passed out. Things have been so difficult lately. Your videos and reading books like Manifest the Divine by Elena River have helped me so much.
At Illegal Zoe wrote,
I was stuck on the whole manifesting thing until I listened to a podcast and found Manifest the Divine by Elena River. Within a few pages, I understood where I went wrong. Mindset plus action, not one without the other. Results followed. If you are tired of spinning your wheels, check it out.
50FRV1 wrote,
I kept asking why manifesting was not working for me. The answer was in Manifest the Divine by Elena River. It teaches you to align beliefs with daily choices. That simple shift changed everything. I am seeing momentum now. Do not sleep on this book.
At Nash's Ming wrote,
I told my friend I was done with manifesting because nothing worked. Then I tried Manifest the Divine by Elena River. Totally different approach. Less fluff, more doing. I feel clear, focused, and things are moving. If you want a real shift, read it.
At Jaljet89 wrote,
A few weeks ago, I was chatting with a friend about how manifesting never seemed to work for me. I'd tried so many methods, but still felt stuck. We heard about a book called Manifest the Divine by Elena River on a podcast, and I was hesitant at first. But after reading just a few chapters, I realized how much I was missing. Elena's approach is so different from anything I've ever tried. It's not just about thinking positive, it's about aligning with real-world actions that bring your desires into reality. Now, I've manifested opportunities I never imagined possible, and my mindset has shifted completely. If you're frustrated like I was, don't hesitate. Read this book. It will change everything.
As Sujit Ultrad wrote,
Okay, but why is nobody screaming about this book, lol? Manifest the Divine by Elena River actually made me realize I was manifesting all wrong. No BS, just real practical stuff that works. It literally changed my life in a week. Been manifesting things nonstop. I'm so grateful, FR.
As Gunfalarin 897 wrote,
I used to think manifestation was just some Pinterest-level stuff until I read Manifest the Divine by Elena River. This hit on a soul level. It's like it reminded me who the hell I was before life got in the way. Thank you, Elena.
Advinacortha Music wrote,
Honestly, it breaks my heart how Manifest the Divine by Elena River isn't getting the attention it deserves. This book changed me. People need to wake up to this.
At Jody Yamada 3726 wrote,
Also for taro, the leaves are edible too. They can be cooked down in stews or steamed with veggies/meat wrapped inside. Just need to be sure it's cooked long enough to break down the high levels of calcium oxalate.
At Sidewalk Astronomy Netherlands wrote,
Most of these plants do not grow here. They are subtropical plants or Mediterranean plants. Maize is not human food. Why would one grow it? Asperger, you eat that once in spring? It tastes like nothing. Get serious. The only plant in your list we all have is rhubarb. You eat it one a year. Maybe. How about garden cress? Now that you do eat, on sandwiches. Or potatoes.
At David L4K9V wrote,
IGSL. Living as I do in the UK, most of these plants would not survive here yet, as the UK has very variable weather and most of these suggestions require subtropical conditions. Rhubarb we can grow, but I know you should only eat the stems. I will take a look at some of the others to see how viable they are here. Bye.
As Simran 1608 wrote,
These 20 vegetables grow like fruit trees. Plant once, eat forever will cover. The set it and forget it vegetables that give you fresh food every year without replanting. How planting once and letting nature take over can save you time and effort in the garden. The secret to sustainable, low-maintenance gardening that rewards you year after year. The most underrated vegetables that grow like fruit trees and give you abundance with minimal care almost forever. How to create your own living food. Forest with vegetables that reseed themselves and thrive without constant attention. 1 Jerusalem artichoke or sunchoke's underground tubers equal potato plus water chestnut taste. With mint, garlic chives to keep away aphids and root maggots. 2 horseradish, even smallest root left will grow full, less water, sun or part shade. With potato or carrot 3 sweet potato vine shade soil. Contain if you leave a few behind. Loves sun, warm. More space. Grow with beans or corn for less water and more fruit. 4 asparagus harvest in third-year patience lasts 20 years. Less water, add composted manure or seaweed near season. 5 rhubarb be productive, 10 or more years. Thrives on neglect, give it space. Grow beside chives or garlic tea aviate aphids/beetles. 6 tree collards kale last 20 years with leaves every few weeks. With basil or marigold to avoid cabbage work. 7 Egyptian walking onion equal cold and hot climate. Drought tough. Near carrots and beets to avoid cabgi worms and beetroot worms. 8 Malabar spinach equal climber that never quits reseed itself survive frost. Thick leaves. Grow by beans or peppers natural shade and moisture for both 9 Chayote long vines on fence or trellis cross bet cucumber and apple last year's love sun. Leaves are edible too. With corn or sunflower. 10 Okinawa spinach, perennial. Comebackle antioxidant and minerals, little shade and moisture. Grow beside lemongrass or ginger to keep pests away and aroma. 11 Moringa miracle tree. Survivor can grow 19 geet leaf potted beans. 12 sorrel. 13 Brazilian spinach partial shade. Beside ginger or Turmeric for pest-free greens 14 taro near lemongrass or turmeric 15 winged bean. Fixes nitrogen soil, gets better besides corn or Moringa 16 cassava even in poor soil. No fertilizers. Leaves are also edible beside beans or maize to boost N17 arrowroot leafy tropical plant has very digestible. Gentle on stomach. Regrow humid shady area beside turmeric or ginger share moisture and 18 Indian/Ceylon spinach iron. Cal thrives even in extreme heat. Grow beside sweet potal vine or okra for cool shade. 19 bamboo shoots harvest young shoots sunlight space and moisture plant beside banana or ginger 20 Chaya equal tree spinach. V nutritious. Thrives in heat, drought. Boil leaves 10 to 15 minutes to get rid of a gnat toxina. Grow near lemongrass or marigold. He must live in a warm and humid climate.
Ediva Lipinska wrote,
Appears. In our world, we say topinamber instead of Jerusalem artichoke. We, thank God, are far from Jerusalem, and I personally have never eaten artichokes besides. Majority of all these miracles grow just in hot and humid jungles for monkeys. Not in the moderate zone, except 3 or 4 sorts. And E in the end. These AI auto-generated illustrations are just disgusting. Never more in this channel.
At American Hardcore, 1984 wrote,
Chayote is my favorite. It's so delicious when sautéed. I didn't know that the leaves were edible too. I also didn't know that it grew in a beautiful mass vine as well. I appreciate your video.
At Agitandiocothiker 7191 wrote,
Jerusalem artichoke is not an artichoke and has nothing to do with Jerusalem. It is endemic in parts of Central and Mid-Southwest America. Its botanical name is Helianthus tuberosus and is a member of the sunflower family. The plant grows taller every year and could reach up to 12 to 15 feet. It has bright yellow sunflower-like flower. It is highly aggressive as well as invasive. It is very difficult to kill. Even a small part of the tuber will produce new plants. It will kill native flora by choking them. There are regulations regarding this plant in certain states. Do not encourage people to grow it recklessly. Yeah, age at Thacker, USA.
The Forest Thruff Trees wrote,
I really miss my Jerusalem artichokes. Several neighbors' trees grew so tall that my yard is once again stuck in too much shade, with my home only partially unshaded. I cannot even grow zucchini anymore. Love the info re-sweet potato vines. Planning for my next home. Fortunately, my rhubarb is in a sunny corner. I love my walking onions and will check out some of the others. I think that my nice gardening neighbors may have left behind some of that gorgeous Okinawan purple spinach before they moved.
At Donna Steele 4631 wrote,
So why do you not want to use the word perennial? Also, the perennials that you are describing here are not totally effortless. They do need care, weeding, fertilizing, pest control, and sometimes division.
Cherry's Jubilee wrote,
There is a lot of misinformation in this video. No references to tell which zones they grow in. Missing information about parts of some plants that are toxic. I do not recommend this to anyone.
At Garden Joy 5223 wrote,
So, which were the ones for Zone 9A again? This is not tropical. All the last ones were all tropical. Would have been better to make several videos and give the zoning for each video with its specific plants. And for the many little nasties in the comment section, if I had wanted to look them all up, I'd do that. But this is just my first trying to get into it, and there's so much to learn that I must weed out less specific videos. This one is interesting, yet only perhaps half of it.
At Lisbeth also wrote,
Some of these plants are very invasive. I did the mistake of planting 2 mint plants in my flower bed, and they almost took over the entire flower bed. In just one summer. Had a major job getting all the root parts out. Are currently growing the mint in a big pot. They keep coming back every year. So please, check if they are invasive before planting. From Norway.
At Mr. Countrycuz wrote,
We grow white carrots and red carrots, daikon radishes, winter melon dungwa, bitter melon kukwa, bourchoy, garlic and onions, peppers, tomatoes, Japanese morosuki and Okinawa sweet potatoes, corn. And hey, we live in Augusta Gig.
At Rosie L2B wrote,
The red rhubarb stalks are okay to eat, but do not eat the green leafy parts, because the oxalates can cause kidney stones. Look it up. Rhubarb and apple make a nice pie. We also had large tubs with parsley and mint, etc. This made me remember the rhubarb that used to always grow near the drain from the old-fashioned wash house, which was separate from the house. That's where Mom used to do the family laundry back in the old days. The copper inside for heating water was a large iron container with a fire underneath, and a large copper bowl was inserted to fill with water from a tap to boil sheets in. The boiled sheets were lifted out with a strong clothes stick into the nearby cement troughs to be rinsed and wrung out. Usually there were 2 cement wash troughs with a hand wringer set up in the middle. Having room for a veggie garden was normal back then. A scrubbing board and brush was used for ingrained dirt, etc. The wrung-out laundry was pegged to an outside set of clotheslines. Women were fit and strong then. Cooking and keeping a house very clean keeps you fit. The copper was also used to make some hot water to put in the chilly tin bath. As kids, we didn't take long to wash and get out. Very chilly indeed. Dad loved working in his great vegetable garden. He also had some grafted fruit trees. Our cow and chooks lived in the side paddock. That was back when houses had enough acreage for a garden. My pony was sheltered by a small lean-to. We also had bikes and a bus to school. Nice times. I love the convenient modern homes, but miss larger yards and the family atmosphere we used to have in the neighborhoods.
At Mike Young 7086 wrote,
I think one of the most important, that gives you natural fats, and calories are nut trees. Plant them once. That gives you natural fats and calories are nut trees. Plant them once and they will give you food year after year.
At Robert Balacius 2645 wrote,
Suriname spinach has low cold hardiness, thriving in USDA hardiness zones 9 to -11 and disliking temperatures below 40. Circ. It will likely die back or be killed by frost, but its roots may survive in zone 9B.
At Robert Balacius 2645 wrote,
So far, up to sweet potatoes, you have not mentioned hardiness zone. Not everyone lives in the same climate. As far as I know, sweet potatoes will not overwinter in areas that get below freezing.
At Pam Reynolds 7334 wrote,
Sweet potatoes need to be started from slips you grow, which can take up to 6 months. Once the slips reach above 6 high, and then you can plant them in warm soil. Since they don't manage to tell you details like that, you need to do your own research.
At Molly Jones 4165 wrote,
Here's something super interesting I've discovered. Squash and pumpkins are traditional native foods in the U.S. Possums and raccoons won't touch them. Neither will the deer. Nothing out here eats pumpkins or squash. They are naturally resistant to everything. They knew what they were doing, that's for certain.
At Richard Dramkumer 7779 wrote,
Yams in Trinidad is perennial. It drop off the seeds from the vines. As they climb tall trees and bushes, almost indestructible, could be used as taro or potatoes, or even in soups.
At Alip 100 wrote,
I'm thinking of growing horseradish indoors in containers in a grow tent. I would want to harvest only the young tender leaves, not the root. I would hope to be able to keep picking the young leaves as they grow. What do you think? Would you know which variety would work best for this?
At Merskrier Marietta wrote,
I really appreciate this info, but I wish you would have included the climate needs of these plants. You mentioned Moringa tree and talk about how easy it is, but the truth is it needs a tropical climate. Frost kills it. I grew it in southern CA in a semi-tropical climate, but it made it one mild winter and died with frost the next. So really, Moringa is only easy if no frost.
At Daniquin Liven 5372 wrote,
A lot spinach varieties would be nice here, berries, etc. Sounds like a lot tropical environment food, but other idea big harvest. Less maintenance but dual use age.
At ACD 1235 wrote,
I bought 2 plants of walking onions because of your recommendations in previous videos. One is in a pot in the greenhouse, the other close to my rhubarb. Since years I try to grow chayote. The fruits one can buy here most of the time are from the southern hemisphere and the will not flower of fruit in our region. The 2 plants I bought this spring grew too slow to flower this year. I will try again next year, but chayote is my greatest challenge yet.
Charted It Too wrote,
Those Egyptian walking onions look different than mine. They're growing on top of the soil, not a couple inches under. And the bulblets are different. And roots don't come out of that end of the bulblet.
The Pepita Pepito, N for Q wrote,
Oh, I love to know these kinds of vegetables that can last for decades. Chayote, I have it here in the Philippines, but it does only grows in a semi-cold place like Baguio and Bengt. And you didn't mention the fruits of Moringa, cause it has 2. It's kind like a long stem, and there's a seeds inside. You can use that fruits as dish, just like we used to do.
At Capper 4615 wrote,
Where do these grow? I live in Zone 9A North Florida, also which are O.K. for front yards, looking like ornamental so that the county doesn't fine you. Thank you, great info.
At Subu's 2631 wrote,
Moringa used to be a must-have in every Indian backyard garden. Rich in vitamins, minerals like zinc, the leaves, flower, and the vegetable are edible and very taste.
At Dinafix ZR4EW wrote,
I wish that I had my old place back. I would have it full of all these plants. I now live in an apartment complex. No room for anything.
At Gaydon 1 wrote,
Many grow out of control if you have limited space. If some can be grown in large tubs, could you please advise? A home in my street has their front garden now, a bamboo forest, even invading the neighbors, so it is too hard to kill as well.
Punkti wrote,
One thing that would be helpful would be to include zone information for each plant. It looks like most of these are going to be zone 9 or 10, maybe higher.
At Nawasanga DR8NZ wrote,
I wish I have that walking onion. With so many kind onion I found in the market, this one surprising not exist here. I live in tropical island, is that the reason? Or perhaps other reason?
At Marlene Henry 3559 wrote,
That is not sorrel. Jamaican sorrel fruit bears once and then dies. You have to plant seeds every year. And that is not the plant. The sorrel plant has a red pod full of seeds. It's not a flower. Do your research.
At Lucius Lyon wrote,
I love horseradish.
Never grown it.
That's about to change. P.S. My personal favorite this season. Write that.
My galaxy pepper plants.
I grew 12 from seeds that I planted from the cores of a plant I bought last season. Each plant has grown to around 15 inches and have produced about 30 peppers per plant. They're absolutely amazing. Like a cross between a jalapeno and a red bell. The ring is every day, and they just keep producing. I'm loving it.
GoGranny_70 wrote,
It would have been nice if you mentioned which zones these plants grow in. I had to look up a couple just go find out they only grow in warmer climates.
Nanalee328 wrote,
The only thing I do not like about videos like these is that they do not tell the downside of these plants. They kind of mention it, but not in the seriousness needed. 1. Sunchokes are extremely tall, so be sure to plant those in east-west rows so it does not take sun away from the other plants. Or find a patch where you can set them where they can do their thing too. They talk about one plant while showing another. 3. Horseradish needs to be in a pot. It will take over, and it is almost impossible to get rid of. The tiniest little root will grow and spread. 4. Asparagus, those tips are nice to look at and eat, but those plants grow after the shoot and take a lot of room. They need a section of garden to themselves. 5. Chayote takes a lot of room also. I planted 2 this year and have had to cut it back twice. 6. Bamboo, a force of nature. Correct, but absolutely keep in a pot. My grandma half a neighbor grows some by their fence, and she had to fight to keep them from taking over her yard. I am not sure of the others plants talked about, but what I put in here is my first-hand knowledge of these plants. Happy growing.
Administriovpiseknk wrote,
We have one rhubarb plant that has been in my backyard for years before I moved in, and I've been here for over 20 years. Canset comes back beautiful every year.
At Water Dragon Clan 9108 wrote,
Nice list if you live at the zone that don't freeze. I have asparagus, mint, thyme, bee balm, rosemary, chives, and blackberries. Others will die in the winter.
At Omiv wrote,
I love to slice and stir-fry my Jerusalem artichokes, although I would recommend amending the soil if you have heavy clay soil because it's hard to dig them up without breaking in clay soil.
At Winter Kunselman 9421 wrote,
That ISBQ Samwai Godi, all might toy created, these vegetables Inesius exact way. That ISY he told Adam, I am. Befitting you from this garden, Buity leave, Theatris IN the center too, OF them alone. That IS when you will start DY. We were as supposed at TO live eternally with Go DBUT, we chose AS humans TO want ETO no even evil. We ARTO blame BUT Jesus took our sins upon high M. ACCPT Heyheim Seuss today ASHE cares to totally for you.
Arobasash, Vanda Walker 2428 wrote,
Some of your photos are not photos of the plant you are talking about. Okinawa spinach, roselle, Suriname spinach, Chaya. I recommend that you include the zones in which all of these plants will grow since many are tropical and others will not grow in the heat.
At Daniel Miller 1302 wrote,
Could maybe do short videos, each for a growing area. Many here for tropical. I in Zone 9B dry, less than 30% humidity. Where Zone 9B and FL is tropical. Or divide the video, X. This section zones under 5. These 5 to 8, these 8 to 12, etc. Great video, cause to think outside a box what to plant.
Kestenberg 6412 wrote,
My mother planted Egyptian walking onions 40 years ago. We just harvested hundreds of them. The mother plant grows the babies each year. Just leave them in the garden, they drop off and replant themselves. I plant them in pots. If you do, you have to water them. If in the garden, just plant and forget. I have given them away in bags. Everyone loves them.
Hella Trudwig wrote,
I had sweet potato plants covering an area in my garden before I moved. Nobody could tell me where to dig for the real sweet potatoes. We took all out and planted lawn.
At Levetto Gatherfeckers wrote,
The vegetables listed are Jerusalem artichoke sunchoke 1, 26 horseradish sweet potato vine asparagus 5, 37 rhubarb tree collards perennial kale 8, 2 Egyptian walking onion Malabar spinach 10, 18 Chaya ape vegetable pear, Okinawa spinach 13, 0 Moringa miracle tree, sorrel roselle or Jamaican sorrel 15, 56 perennial spinach Suriname or Brazilian spinach 17, 5 taro coco yam, winged bean cassava arrowroot ceylon spinach Bazella alba or Indian spinach, Chaya tree spinach 2425.
Achia 2006 wrote,
I plant sunchokes. They do need to be replanted. When you dig out, you put back some smaller ones, or when cleaning, cut the nodes sticking out, cover them back in shallow dirt. They grow again next year, same thing.
At Horsemuse wrote,
I love the inclusion of pairing. Very educational. I see a request for zones. That'd be great too. I'm in Northern California, with a huge mix of climates.
At Earth Smile for Me 990 wrote,
1 sunchokes, 2 horseradish, 3 sweet potato, 4 asparagus, 5 rhubarb, 6 tree colored, 7 Egyptian walking onion, 8 Malabar spinach, 9 Chioti, 10 Okinawa spinach, 11 Moringa, 12 sorrel, 13 Brazilian spinach, 14 taro, 15 winged bean, 16 cassava, 17 arrowroot, 18 Indian spinach, 19 bamboo shoots, 20 chaya. He must live in a warm and humid climate.
At Betty Atkinson 1681 wrote,
I discovered Chinese cabbage and bok choy for soups, stews, and stir fries, and they keep producing throughout frost. They have produced itself 3 times and still producing. I'm hoping to find Malabar spinach, 12 pole beans, walking onions, and daikon radishes.
At Lola, New Jersey 5TC wrote,
These plants don't grow in all climates. However, they are great choices. I recently learned of another, Yakan, first cousin to the Jerusalem artichoke. Also, the image you had for roselle is totally incorrect. Not meant as criticism, just FYI. Good info.